He's only been past 8 rounds once, and that came in his last fight in Oklahoma against Joe Morales. He had Morales down in round number 4 when they tallied the judges' scorecards at the end of the fight. An easy win for Zahir Raheem. Well, he's a Philadelphia, Pennsylvania native. Moments ago, he arrived via helicopter in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Promoter Tony Holden trying to put on a show. And Zahir Raheem, to the strains of Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA, grabbed an American flag. Of course, he was a 1996 U.S. Olympian. He saluted the crowd. Not a bad entrance for a non-title shot. You see the fireworks going off behind him. That was an impressive display as well. Past 8 rounds only once. He's been in Tulsa, Oklahoma for 2 months. Born and raised in Philadelphia. 130 pounds, 19-0. 10 knockouts against nondescript competition. His last 5 opponents have a winning percentage of 53%. As opposed to Espinoza, whose last 5 opponents, as we showed you, had a winning percentage of 86%. Teddy's tips for Zahir Raheem.
Well, if Raheem's going to stay undefeated, move towards a world title fight, hands up.
Oklahoma, of course, as you saw the helicopter come in, we are outdoors. Zahir Raheem in the white, Espinoza in the gold. Zahir Raheem liked to wrestle as a kid in Philadelphia. Went to a recreation center. He was about 11. They tried to kick him out. Saw a picture of Muhammad Ali and he just stopped. He says, I want to be a boxer. Met trainer Freddie Jenkins, and from that point on, Zahir Raheem was on the fast track in the amateur game with 200 amateur bouts. National PAL champion in 1995 and a U.S. Olympian in 1996. He lost his second bout to Arnaldo Mesa of Cuba. Espinoza, his amateur career has come via the pro game. He only had 3 amateur bouts. He's been a pro since 1984. In fact, Raheem had not celebrated his 8th birthday yet when Espinoza turned pro.
Talking about that experience, that speaks of it real well. Another vivid illustration of the experience gap in favor of Espinoza. Well, Raheem has fought 93 total rounds in his career. Espinoza has fought 112 world championship rounds alone. That is a big gulf of difference in experience.
The big question here in this fight, left hand by Raheem. The question here, Teddy, is Espinoza has all the credentials. He has all the technique. He has all of the skills. The question is, at 35, and after all those wars, does he still have the legs? If he has the legs, he's going to give Raheem fits.
That's it in a nutshell, partner. He has shown himself at 35 years of age and a career of 18.5 years. He's starting to look a little shop-worn, quite honestly, in his last couple of fights. 2 fights ago, he was knocked out by Augie Sanchez. No knock on Sanchez, did a good job. But that made a lot of boxing people look and say, Espinoza, his chin, is starting now to show some tattering.
A couple fights before that, he had that technical loss to Guti Espadas for the vacant WBC featherweight crown. Espadas suffered a cut in the 11th round. He was comfortably ahead.
There's 2 ways Espinoza can go, and it's going to wind up one way. He has very long arms. He could use those long arms on the outside. But that's not his temperament. That's not his style. He's a strong guy. He's going to wind up inside winging. And that's going to work for him, or it's going to work against him. Because Raheem can punch in between those shots with the faster hands.
Most telling blow in the round landed by Zahir Raheem. Raheem and Luisito Espinoza embark upon round number 2. Raheem in his first bout working with new trainer Jesse Reed, his 2nd month in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Espinoza yesterday weighed 133, almost 134 pounds. He had to lose some weight. The weight for this fight was 129 pounds. Lost the 4 pounds in about 45 minutes. Wasn't really a problem. We talked with him after he had lost the weight and showed no effects. I was talking with the promoter of this show, Tony Holden, And they're having a lot of problems getting a fight for Raheem at 126 pounds.
Raheem has not only been the quicker man, he has hurt Espinoza so far in this fight. Only 2 rounds old. 2 times.
Tony Holden told us that they offered this fight at 126 pounds to Frankie Toledo, Angel Vasquez, John Michael Johnson, Robbie Peden. They all turned it down. That's according to the promoter for Raheem.
Sometimes when you wonder about the wear and tear.
He got caught in a counter. That's a knockdown. Raheem got caught in a counter.
Raheem got a little greedy there. And why wouldn't he? He had success so far in this fight early on. He was throwing too many punches. And he got caught in between by the experienced Espinoza. Came back and caught Raheem as he was throwing 4 punches when there was only time for 3. This fight's going to come down to styles. No matter what the experience of Espinoza, he's going to need the right landscape, the right situation to use that experience. The style of Raheem will make that difficult for him. Raheem is much quicker. Espinoza, even at his best, is a plodding fighter, a slow-footed fighter. A fast fighter like Raheem can always exploit that. Get in, get out. Use the quicker hands to get inside the wider looping punches of Espinoza. So even though we came here expecting a test, and we may get it for Raheem because of the experience of the former 2-time world champion, Espinoza. If Raheem fights his style, he's going to give Espinoza, with his style, a lot of problems.
Story here in round 2. Luisito Espinoza got in a counter shot and dropped Zahir Raheem.
This is where Raheem must be careful. He throws those flurries. He must not